Here.
Mr. Groot.
Here.
Mr. Harden.
Here.
Mr. Leisure. Mr. Ross. Here. Mr. Shingle.
Yep.
Mr. Schreiber.
Here.
Mr. Shigenda.
Here. Please join me in the pledge of the flag. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, let it be noted that the McGuffey School Board met in executive session at 6:30 p.m. in the McGuffey High School Conference Room for the purpose of potential litigation prior to the start of the June 15, 2017 regular school board meeting. Okay. Public comment on agenda items. Is there any public comment on agenda items? Okay, we'll go to, oh, I'm sorry.
Mr. Group, we also had 3 people sign up. If Mrs.
For
Shingle, you yield your time.
non-agenda. It's non-agenda.
Oh, for the non-agenda portion, okay.
And Ms. Jackson, you yield your time.
Mine are non-agenda as well.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, mine's agenda. Okay,
Name
my
and-
name's Tammy Lindley. Can everyone hear me?
No, turn it on.
Turn it on.
Switch there.
Where?
There you go, there it's on.
Can you hear me now? Okay. My name is Tammy Lindley, and I'm from East Findlay Township, and I'm also the supervisor of food services for McGuffey. I would like to thank you very much for the opportunity to serve the district for 27 years. It has been my pleasure to work with the faculty, staff, and most importantly, our students. I take pride in my work, and I put my heart and soul into everything that I do for this district and for the students in this district. Which is why when I received an unsatisfactory on my evaluation, it broke my heart. I do not consider myself an unsatisfactory employee. My department passed 3 state reviews with commendations this year. We do not have help with our reviews. We just had guidance. I won 2 awards this year. The one award you saw me receive here, and in 2 weeks I will be going to the School Nutrition Association of Pennsylvania's conference, and I will be receiving an award, which is 1 out of 8 awards in the state of Pennsylvania. And I will be receiving this award. I didn't balance the cafeteria budget, which is where I fell short. And we really did try to make it happen. Myself and other administrators were asked to complete a survey a few months ago. And the question was, what is the biggest problem that you would like to see changed in our organization? And I said, respect. The lack of respect for one another. The definition of respect is a feeling of deep admiration for someone or something elicited by their abilities, qualities, and achievements. All of us need to respect each other, each and every employee in this district. We all need to listen, encourage, congratulate, and be helpful to one another. Confucius say, we must show respect to get respect in return. Respect yourself, and others will respect you. Another couple more examples of respect is how you talk to people. You need to talk to them using a tone, body language in a good way, in a positive way. You should speak to someone as you're speaking to your family. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Talk to people the way you want to be talked to. And respect is earned and not given. I have a wonderful staff. I love my staff, and my staff respects me. I respect them. And this is where the problem is. We all need to respect one another, because I haven't seen that much of it in the last couple years. If you choose to reject my irrevocable retirement, that will show me your support. And I will consider staying in my position as supervisor of food services and continuing what I love to do. Because you know, I love working with these children and I love doing what I do, but I do not feel like I'm an unsatisfactory employee. Thank you.
Is there any other public comment on agenda items at this time? Okay,
I have a procedural question.
okay,
How many candidates do we have tonight?
great.
When we did this before, you interviewed both of them, and then we just voted? Or is each candidate going to get voted on? What I would suggest is after the interview process,
Okay.
each person's name comes up for a vote.
Until you get six, I mean, the first person would get 6 votes, 5 votes, I'm sorry. That would be it.
Yeah.
Okay. And the way the agenda's set now, it's looking for a motion to appoint X. Then you would vote on that. If that person didn't get sufficient.
Well,
votes,
the reason I brought it up was last time, there were two, and somebody said, I make a motion that we take Rich. And somebody seconded it, and we never really voted on the other guy, you know what I mean?
Well, I understand what you're saying, but you did vote on them. If Rich got all the votes, or enough votes to get it, then
Yeah.
he would be the candidate.
Yeah, okay, I just didn't know how the process worked. I mean, if Rich hadn't got enough votes, then what, we'd have voted for the other guy.
Someone would make a motion on the other candidate.
Do you want to go to exec session and talk about it first, is what you're saying?
I don't think we can.
No, we just need to,
Does the process have to be the motion type of thing, or can we adopt what we're talking about now?
The process you guys have established is somebody gets, there's a motion to appoint so-and-so, you vote, and if they don't get 5 votes, then as you indicated, somebody could move the next person. If they don't get 5 votes, then you can move the next one. And if no one gets 5, then you discuss in public and go through the process again.
Does that process seem similar to what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. Makes, I mean,
It just seemed pretty lickety split last time.
If the first person gets 5 votes,
Then it's over.
But I have a procedural question. That will take place after all 3 interviews?
That's correct.
correct.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, we're gonna start with this. We have 3 candidates. Yes, please pass it back. We have 3 candidates, Mrs. Betty Shingle, Mr. Mike Matthews, and Mr. David Haynes. I would respectfully ask that the 2 candidates not being interviewed leave the room so they don't have a chance to hear the questions. You can correct all of them. So the first candidate is Mrs. Betty Shingle. Mr. Haynes, Mr. Matthews could step out, that would be awesome.
We're gonna have somebody sit, we got a sheriff here, the group, we're gonna, we are voting. Not either way, doesn't matter.
She's not on a microphone.
Need a microphone?
everybody needs to hear.
Okay.
Back to the time.
I think you'll have to stand.
Stand. Sorry about that.
Okay. Okay. Good evening.
Good evening. The way this works, I will ask all the questions. Board members will be writing as I ask, trying to record your answers. And are you ready?
Oh, yes, I'm ready.
Okay, question number 1, please list the reasons and explain the reasons why you are applying for the position of school director.
Well, there's nothing personal in it for me. My children are out of school. I am a tax-paying resident, but it's really for my community. I've been very blessed to live in this community. I believe in the educational system of this community, and I want to see it work well. I think the residents want a voice in the community, and I believe I could be that.
Okay, thank you. Number 2, what do you perceive to be the role of a school board member?
I did look at your policies and procedures, and it is to follow the direction of administration and to also hire people, fire people, terminate people, balance the budget, to see that these students are getting the best education. The number one thing I think, in my opinion, is seeing that the students are getting the very best education that is possible with the monies that we have available. And I think that means we have to really look at the monies we have available and are we spending it properly? I hope that answers your question.
Okay, number 3, in what areas do you have particular strengths that could contribute to board deliberations and decisions?
Well, I've spent a lifetime in education. I worked both as an administrator and I was the director of the business college for nearly 20 years before my retirement. And I've, in that entire time, and even now in my retirement job, still am employed as a faculty member. So I think I have a background in education, in the educational system, in students and the needs of students. I feel that would probably be my strong point. I do get along well in the community. I've talked to a lot of people that have a lot of questions. So I really think that that's important too, to be the voice of the community.
Okay, number 4, are there specific concerns about the school district which you feel that the board should address, or problem areas you feel need attention?
Well, is that a loaded question?
Yeah.
Yes, I believe there is always room. You know, the biggest room in the house is the room for improvement. There's all room for all of us. Plenty of room there to go around.
Okay, number 5, what is your opinion of the current status of education in the Guthrie School District?
I think we've had some failings. I mean, anyone who said at the last board meeting, it would be foolish to say, oh, everything's rosy, because it's not really. So what can we do to make it better? I think that's a question before us. What can we do to make it the best that it possibly can be? The best as it was when you went there and when my children went there. It's not there. It's failed some. So what can we do to get back there?
Okay, number 6, this is the last question. Expressing the views of the community in matters affecting education is the responsibility of school board members. What would be your method of expressing those views?
Well, I believe I have been actually practicing this as a resident. I've come up here and made suggestions or asked questions. So I think it would be the same thing, except from a board perspective, from a member perspective. I do want to say in relationship to the school, I'm very proud of the school. I worked in my tenure at Pink Commercial. We had many, many students from here that have gone on to have great jobs. And I'm very proud of that. Hope I answered your question.
Okay, Mrs. Schindler, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Roger, you give Mr. Matthews. Yes, sir. I'll wait for the podium. I'll pass there, so I'll pick the podium.
Okay.
I didn't know this was gonna be in public, so look at that.
Nerve-wracking.
Yeah,
All right, Mr. Matthews. There's 6 questions,
okay,
and we'll be writing as
all right, no
you
problem.
give your answers.
Okay.
You're probably not used to that in church.
Yeah, it'd be nice if they paid attention more, you're right.
Okay, question number 1. Please list the reasons and explain the reasons why you are applying for the position of school director.
Because I want to help the community any way I can. I want to be fully part of the McGuffey community in Claysville. I became a pastor at First Baptist of Claysville last year, and I've been in youth ministry since I was 24. And prior to that, I was an IEP advocate for kids with disabilities. So I care about helping kids of all backgrounds have the best education possible and feel like they're part of the school. So that's part of my passion as a pastor and former youth pastor is I just want to help the community any way I can. And I've had a lot of great opportunities. Prior to I was a pastor, I was on a board of directors when I was 19, and I was a secretary. I was the youngest secretary ever in this board, and I have been on the other side too as a program director, where I had to carry out tough decisions from the board. One of the toughest things I ever had to do was lay off a mentor that knew me for 8 years, and I had to do it because it was the best decision for our clients. I worked at an organization that I was in charge of 300 to 600 clients, and I was supervising people who knew me when I was 14. So that was a hard thing to do for me, but I know what needs to be done, and sometimes you gotta take personal emotions out of it and do what's best for people. And in this case, students.
Thank you. Well, number 2, what do you perceive to be the role of a school board member?
The role of a school board member. I think, I'm not going to have all the answers, but I think the role of a school board member is to help come to a consensus and help meet the mission of McGuffey School District, whatever that is. I want to be a part of that. I'm not the answer, but I want to be part of the answer.
Okay, number 3, in what areas do you have particular strengths you can contribute to board deliberations and decisions?
Like I said previous, I've been in charge of boards since I was 19 years old. And on the flip side, I was a director that had to answer to a board. So I know the good, the bad, and the ugly that comes with dealing with boards. No offense. But I just have a lot of experience of being on boards and being part of an organization that had to make hard calls for an organization. So, yeah, that's my answer. I used to be a stand-up comic too, so I'm not nervous, and I'm trying to put facts to you.
Amen.
Okay, number 4, are there specific concerns about the school district which you feel that the board should address, or problem areas you feel need attention?
Like I said, I don't know all the issues, but I am willing to learn what they are, and I want to help make the school better for all students. One of my passions is students with disabilities. So maybe my unique life experience can bring a voice to students with disabilities who I've experienced public school. I graduated from Trinity, but that's not a problem. I'm totally all in with McGuffey now. But I hope that my unique experience will bring something different to the board of McGuffey.
Okay, number 5, what is your opinion, the current status of education in the McGuffey School District?
Like anything, we can do better. We should always strive to do better. I used to tell my organization I used to work with, we used to teach people with disabilities how to be independent, and I used to tell my clients never settle. Today you learn how to go shopping. Tomorrow we're going to learn how to go get an apartment. We can always do better and aim higher for our students. And to do that, you have to make hard calls.
Okay, Mr. Matthews, one more question.
Okay.
Expressing the views of the community in matters affecting education is the responsibility of the school board members. What would be your method of expressing those views?
From the community to the board?
Yes.
Well, I'm a very transparent leader, so I would have an open dialogue with the community as a board member, and I would just bring their concerns to the board. I want to be an objective leader. I know that's hard on boards, and I know that's hard in small communities, but I believe it can be done. And because I'm newer to our community, I think I can add that because I don't have the long history that other people do, so I can have a kind of a unbiased opinion. So, yep.
Okay, Mr. Matthews,
That's
thank
it?
you very much.
Okay.
Either the chair or the podium.
Good evening. Okay, Mr. Haynes, I have 6 questions. We're going to be writing as you answer the questions, so don't let that concern you. Number 1, please list the reasons and explain the reasons why you are applying for the position of school director.
I've been a lifelong member of this district. I was born here. I was born in California, moved here with my parents' farm. I graduated from McGuffey and never left the district. I'm invested in this district. I've been told that I bleed blue and gold. I've taught in this district for 22 years, and I recently retired. I'd like to help make a difference.
Okay, number 2, what do you perceive to be the role of a school board member?
To make decisions, to assist the administration and the faculty to make the best decisions based on what's best for the children in a manageable way.
Okay, number 3, in what areas do you have particular strengths that could contribute to board deliberations and decisions?
I like to read. I like to be informed. I like to ask questions. I consider myself an individual that's not going to snap at a judgment, but to sit back and try to gather as many facts as possible and make the best informed decision that I can. I think one of my strengths is listening well and working well with others.
Okay, number 4, are there specific concerns about the school district that you feel that the board should address, or problem areas you feel need attention?
I think education as a whole needs a lot of attention. Finding financial resources to maintain the district is a huge issue without putting burden on the taxpayer and liabilities there. Obviously, you are facing that. We are facing that as a district with the recent cuts because of financial concerns and with a decline in the population. I think that we need to find a way to promote this district for what it is, which is a great school district with great teachers, and put that out in the public. When I was a teacher here, I would be interviewed by prospective residents asking about my program, about the music program here at McGuffey. Prospective residents make decisions based on what school districts have to offer. I think that we need to put our best foot forward and be visible as a quality school district.
Okay, number 5, what is your opinion of the current status of education in McGuffey School District?
I think I just stated that in question 4. I think we have a great school district. I think we have great students, and I think we have a phenomenal faculty that cares about the students. I think that we do everything we can to give every student a chance to be successful in whatever they want to do. I'd like to help with that, improve that too.
Okay, Mr. Haynes, this is the last question. Expressing the views of the community in matters affecting education is a responsibility of school board members. What would be your method of expressing those views?
I think I view this position, obviously I've voted for school board. It's an elected position. I think that listening to the community of the people that have voted for me and listening to their concerns is an important part of this job. I think that as a school board member, it would be my responsibility to represent that community that has voted for me and try to encourage other members of the school board to be aware of what the community wants, what the community feels our needs are in this district.
Okay, Mr. Haynes, that's all. Last 2 questions.
Thank you.
Does anybody need time to review their notes? Or? We have
You want a motion?
I'll
I'll make a motion for Mike Matthews.
We have a motion for Mr. Matthews. Do I have a second? I'll second. Motion and second from Mr. Matthews. Any questions on the motion? Any questions from the public on the motion?
I have one question.
Okay.
All these people live in the district that's vacated?
That would be required to put in.
Yeah, I was just,
I believe so.
we did, that wasn't one of the questions. Do you live in that district?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm just asking.
Please, so we got West Alexander, Claysville, and Claysville.
Yeah, 2 places, 1 or
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Ross?
No.
Mr. Shingle?
No.
Mr. Schreiber?
Yes.
Mr. Schindler?
No.
Mr. Finch?
No.
Mr. Groot?
No.
Mr. Harden?
No.
I'll make a motion for Betty Sherman.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor of the motion, signify. No, I'm sorry. Roll call, please.
Mr. Shingle?
Yes.
Mr. Schreiber?
No.
Mr. Schindler?
No.
Mr. Finch?
Yes.
Mr. Groot?
No.
Mr. Harden?
No.
Mr. Ross?
No.
Motion carries.
Yes, I do the motion.
Second. A motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Schreiber?
Yes.
Mr. Schindler?
Yes.
Mr. Finch?
Yes.
Mr. Groot?
Yes.
Mr. Harden?
Yes.
Mr. Ross?
Yes.
Mr. Shingle?
No.
Okay, motion passes. Yes, you bring Mr. Haynes, you can have all three come in, so we'd like you, Mr. Haynes.
Excuse me, wasn't one of those votes both a yes and a no? For two different people?
Get all three separate.